Hi, my name is Kristen Williams. I'm a physical therapist and I'm also a senior lit instructor for lit yoga. So today we're going to be talking about ankle sprains / instability. Ankle sprains are so common. Think about how many times you've just stepped off a curb wrong, rolled your ankle. They usually occur with that, what we call an inversion sprain, where we roll the ankle in, spraining the outside ligaments. Occasionally we'll have the eversion sprain, but they're much less common. And so what happens with an ankle sprain is once you stretch out a ligament, they don't really go back to their same tautness that they had to start. So it becomes more unstable. So what we have to do is train the body to stabilize around that less stable joint. It's doable. It's very doable to where you can get back to pretty much where you were, but you are more likely to have an ankle sprain after you've sprained your ankle one time, especially if you don't do some good rehab to prevent that or retrain that. So typically after an ankle sprain, it swells up, and then that swelling acts like a roadblock where your brain is telling the muscles to work and they're just not getting the signal right. And then we get a little bit of dysfunction between the brain map down to the ankle. So the most simple thing to do to start to both restore mobility and start retraining that brain, telling the foot and ankle what to do, is by an ankle alphabet. If you've been to physical therapy for an ankle sprain, you've probably had this exercise. I like to do it on a block just so my heel doesn't get impeded on the floor. And so just imagine that you have a marker on the end of your big toe and just draw the alphabet. A, B, I usually do capital letters, C, and you want to be able to move that ankle. It's very mobile through that full range of motion. And now it might not be comfortable. It's okay to move into some discomfort, but you don't want to move into pain. So you can modify how big or little you're making the letters. But you'll see when you first start to do it, you're having the hardest time telling the brain what you want to do. And then hopefully towards the end of the alphabet or after a few tries, that starts to get easy. So very simple way to just start talking to the ankle while restoring mobility. And then our next exercise will be with a band. So if you have a piece of tubing, a strap on the end, or you can just tie a loop, just some simple isotonic strengthening. And that just means we're going to be only moving in one plane of motion. We need to do this. We need to get these muscles that might have atrophied, so they might have gotten a little bit smaller since you've had your injury. And so we want to strengthen them back up again. So you can begin by doing what we call plantar flexion, which is pointing the foot. That's going to work your calf muscle. This can be done in many other ways. Heel raises, when you're standing, or even in a bridge position. So point and flex the foot. Then taking the strap around the other foot. So I have both feet up here, and I'm going to be turning. It doesn't need to be there. Good. I'm going to be turning out. So turning that foot out, everting it. And so I'm working the muscles here on the side of the leg called, when I went through school, they're called perineals. Now they're called your fibularis muscles, fibulari, plural. And then you can come on the other side. Whoops, sorry about that. Loud noise. And now I'm going to be inverting the foot or turning it in. And so I'm using some of my deeper posterior tibialis muscles to bring that foot in. You'll notice you have way more range of motion going in than you do going out. And so you really want to make sure that you're not moving your hip. A lot of times we'll go, oh, I'm doing it, but it's actually your hip that's moving. So stabilizing the knee, making sure it's just at that foot and ankle that's moving. And you're going to feel the heat start to build. And then you can close your strap in a door or wrap it around the, let's say a chair of a bed. I'm just going to do this here just to demonstrate where you'll be pulling back for some dorsiflexion. So we pointed down, pulled back, went in and out. Dorsiflexion is going to work the top muscle here called your tibialis anterior. So even right there, I'm getting it, but it's just easier if you have your strap attached. We also want to start to retrain our balance. And so just coming to stand, and you'll be surprised. Stand on your good leg, and you're like, wow, that's super easy. Stand on your bad leg, and all of a sudden, it's really challenging because, again, we've had that swelling. Those ligaments are a little less tight. So just coming into a single leg stance, close your eyes. It'll make it harder. Start to wobble there. You can hold that 30 seconds. If you can make it, start with 10 10-second holds. Work your way up to 30 seconds. Work your way up to a minute. Working to get that fine motor control back. And the last thing you can do, just for some simple rehab, would be what I call a tandem walk. So imagine you have a tightrope, heel toe. And so looking forward, this is going to be a narrower base of support. You can do it forward and then try it backwards. And so if you would look down at my feet, they're definitely moving. And so I'm having to use that ankle in a more intricate manner to walk on this narrow path. And so the slower you go, the harder it is. So try those 4 exercises out. If you have some ankle instability, try them every single day and see if it doesn't help you get back on your road to recovery. And then there really is nothing better than yoga, especially lit yoga, to get these ankles back in shape. But sometimes we need a little rehab to get us there. Thank you so much for joining.